All right, so we're working in the shop today, and what are we working on here? This is actually my car. It's a 62 Rambler American. I've had this car for a long time. We actually use this car to get married in. I can zoom out a little bit here. This whole side was wrecked when I got the car. I have a picture of it someplace. I should probably grab that. We just took this car to Seattle for our 15th wedding anniversary. And we found a few issues. One is sitting right here. Some 670 by 15 white wall tires. I have loved these tires that are on the car. They're called, well, I call them cream walls. They're old Sears Allstates. Let's see if I can show you what's going on here. At about 70 miles an hour, I would experience a bit of vibration in the steering. And if you look right there, can you see that bulge? There's a big old bulge there in my tire. These tires are Sears brand. They're Allstates, Guardsman's, 4-ply polyesters, and I think they're from the mid-60s. They were sort of new when I got the car. I've put 20,000 miles on them, but we've got a big old bump right there, and that's no good, so we're getting new tires. So I got the same tires, although the new ones are Firestone, and they're not cheap. They were $230 a piece, something like that, crazy amount. So we're going to swap them out. I'm going to take the wheels and tires off and take them down to the tire store and put on these Firestones. All right, that's what we're going to do. We got some more work I'm going to show you on the Rambler as well. All right, you're in luck. Taking a picture or a video of this side of the car reminded me of something. This was me doing the body work on this side of the car back in 2003, I believe, 2002. So 17 years ago, that's what the car looked like. Had it all stripped down. There was quite a bit of damage on this side of the car. Basically, the older gentleman that owned the car before me hit the garage door frame and just creased the whole side. So new fender, I think we got a new door, and then fixed the quarter panel. It's come a long ways. A little tidbit of information for you. All right, so we just dropped off our Rambler tires. They're going to get mounted up. All right, and they're all done. Let's load them up. All right, so we got all the new white walls on the Rambler rims mounted, balanced, and tidied up. So I think I want to put some new ball joints sorry, not ball joints, tie rod ends on the Rambler here. These have some play in them, and I was able to find some new ones. So let's do that before we put the wheels back on, and I'll give it a quick alignment, and that should be good. All right, so we're nearing completion of our little Rambler spiff up job. We've got our new Firestone gum dipped. That's what that says right there. Wide white walls mounted, balanced, sort of trued onto our 1962 Rambler American. And we put on some new tie rod ends. I'm going to give you a tip about that. Greased the front suspension, knocked a bit of grease, old grease off of the suspension. It was driving me crazy, and poked out a few grease zerks so I could get some grease into the trunnions and the joints. So when I do an alignment on a car, or if I replace something like a tie rod end like this, I'm going to give you a tip. The tie rod end typically will have a few threads showing outside the collar, the adjuster collar. In this case, the driver's side front had 5 threads, and the passenger side had 4 threads. And as long as your new tie rod end looks similar to your old one, this one had a shorter amount of threads total, but all that really matters is the threads that are showing on this side of the collar. They matched up perfectly. So I put 4 threads showing on the front passenger side, 5 threads on the driver's side, and my alignment, which I've been doing for a long time by sightline, works pretty well. And I'll show you how to do that. First, you got to drive the car in and out of the shop a couple times to settle the suspension, which I've done. The next is you've got to center of the steering. So be sure you walk the wheel back and forth, get the crossbar level. It drives me crazy when you have a car driving straight down the road when your crossbar is like this. So get your crossbar level, and you can kind of feel, this steering is old and it's got a little bit of play in it, but you know, right about there. And then once you get that set, take your handy dandy flashlight and your eyeballs and you sight line this tire. In other words, you take this, the plane of this tire right here, the I guess the sidewall on the inside leading and the sidewall trailing, and you make it flat, and you look and see how you see just a little bit of the rear tire there. That means you've got a little bit of toe in, and I think this car is supposed to have an 1/8 or 16th inch toe in, and you do that with the same on the other side. Simply just sight line the sidewall leading and trailing, and you see how I have maybe 1 inch of rear tire showing, so it's equal side to side. That way your car is going to go down the road straight. If you've got something weird going on where your rear axle is crabbing, or one of these is way out of whack, then you got problems. You got to deal with it. You can also look at the sight line of the outside of the tire and see how you can't see any of the rear tire. If you could see the rear tire, you would have toe out on the front. And remember that rear wheel drive cars are different than front wheel drive cars. Always check your specifications. That's how I do alignments in my shop, and it seems to work really, really well. I don't have any fancy equipment, just my eyeballs. So we have our new tires on the car. I've got the dog taking a nap. I just wanted to show you, we have a matching spare in the trunk there. So we've actually got 5 of these gum dipped Firestone white walls. Pretty cool. So I bought this tire in the spare probably 20 years ago, 15 or 20 years ago. It was $120, and since then the same tire has gone up in price twice that. I think it was $220 for these. So all right, enough jabbing. Let's get our lug nuts torqued and our tires aired up and our hubcaps on, and we'll take this thing for a drive. Oh, and one thing I totally forgot to mention on the alignment: if you have a toe in issue or a toe out issue, there's an adjusting collar right there. It's this thing with the 2 clamps on it. You'll just grab that with either a like a plumbing pipe wrench, or a set of channel locks, or vice grips. Loosen it up a little bit, and when you twist it, you basically adjust the tie rod. You adjust the toe in, either in or out. So there you go. If you didn't catch that or know that, that's what you got to do. All right, so we've got our 1962 Rambler American back on its wheels. It's warming up here. It's a pretty moist day, so we've got some condensation coming from the exhaust pipe. I have yet to clean off the clear-coated blue white wall protector. I'll do that maybe next time. I noticed my hubcap's got a big scuff on it, so car needs a little detailing. It's wet outside. I will clean it next time it dries up. I think we should take it for a ride, a drive. I've got my puppy dog in there. It's right there, ready to go. And I just want to stand back and take a look at my work. This car has come a long ways. It's so much fun. You can see I've got my LED turn signals. Well, they're daytime running lights. They turn the signal flash orange when I turn the turn signal on. But I wanted some daytime running lights because I like to drive this thing. I like to be seen going over the mountain passes. So if you're not familiar with a 62 Rambler, the first thing you got to have is a list. Every time you drive a car, or at least every time I drive one of my cars, I make a list. It's an itemized list of things that need to be repaired. Keep that in mind. I do that for every one of my cars. I keep a list someplace. So the next time I hop in the car 3 months later, I'm like, oh yeah, I should have fixed that, or I need to fix that, or I need to address it. That's the only way stuff gets done. So we've got a little over 40,000 miles. It is a little rainy today. Let's try our vacuum operated wipers. So I'm going to turn them on. It's at a high idle, so the wipers are really fast. I can actually modulate with the knob here and make them sort of intermittent. Well, need to give them a little more gas. They will vary as we drive. Anyhow, I'm gonna quit playing with those. Let's go for a drive. So it's a 3 on the tree with double overdrive. I don't know what that means, but first gear is down right there, and our overdrive is here under the keys. You can see that or not? There's a knob there, and we will pull that. Actually push that later on, and I'll explain how that works. We're not going to turn the radio on because AM stations are hard to get, but we're going to take the brake off, and away we go. We're going to wave at our neighbor here. Hey, you're on camera.
That's a damn nice old car.
Oh, thank you, sir. Yeah.
Is that one yours?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, 25 years now.
That's a nice car, dude.
Just got 40,400 miles on it. I got it with 24. He likes my car. He's a nice guy. All right. So let's go out to the main road here. We've got our stowaway in the back. She'd like me to roll that window down so she can get a squirrel. Turn our turn signals on and check for traffic. None coming. It's a nice cool day. Looks like it's gonna rain though. All right. Tires feel good. Car drives straight. We're gonna go for second gear. You can see the dash is a little wore out here from prior owner jamming it in second gear, I guess. Something's changed. So overdrive works in actually second and third gear. You just push the knob in like that, and then if I let off on the gas, oh, we got to be going faster. I think we got to go about 40. There we go. If I let off on the gas, it automatically clicks into overdrive. So we're in overdrive second. Oh, we're slowing down though. See if overdrive first, or first of second gear will come back. Yeah, it did. So it's sort of speed sensitive. It's kind of cool. So we're gonna turn around here. Tires feel great. It feels like it's got power steering now. And we're gonna put it back in first gear. There is no overdrive in first gear. Okay. So we're in second gear, and I'm gonna let off the gas. It's gonna go into second. There it goes. So it's in second. Now I can go into first, third. And I think I gotta go about 45 to get it into second, third. Okay, I'm gonna let off my gas now. There she goes. I wish I had a tach. It'd be easier to explain, but overdrive works really well. Okay, back into second. We're in the first second. It's complicated. And neutral. I can hear my tire stickers. In other words, the new stickers on the tires flapping around. Probably should have took those off. Let's go out and look at them. Yeah, I should have peeled off my stickers on the tires. I can hear them flapping. All right, well, that's going to wrap up this episode of sprucing up the old 62 Rambler American. It's been fun. I love this car. Wish I could drive it more. And Stella likes to go for rides in the Rambler, don't you? You gonna look at me? A little bit. All right, thanks for watching. We'll catch you next time for the next unique car that we're able to drive. Who knows what that'll be? It's always something. All right, thanks for watching.